Hi everyone, the Clouds here, and today guys I'm going to review some Bionicle promotional sets released between 2004 and 2006. And well, first you have to notice that in fact I do not own any of the set. I just rebuild them from online instructions. So for example, you can go on brickset.com or on brickfactory.info for instructions. And well, so that means that I will not show you any of the instructions booklet or any bags or boxes because I do not have any of the sets. So of course I can't show you these things because I do not own them. But well, I'm still going to show you the sets, and that I think the most important thing. And first, well, we're going to begin with a promotional set from 2004, which it seems was in fact unreleased. So it just well, it was just, well, the instructions were made, the set was made, but it wasn't released anywhere. So, well, it is called Creature on some sets, on some seats, for example, from a brick set. So, well, let's go with Creature, and it seems to be away from Metronry. And, well, first, let's begin with the... Excuse me. Guys, first, let's begin with the front legs. So it's quite simple. It's made with a double little connector, so you will see this part a tons of time in this review in fact, and then some slicer arms or legs. Then I'm going to link the neck part, which is made with this piece and this one at the end. So of course I've got a pin part and a pin hole, so obviously I'm going to link the two of them together. Then I'm going to take the head, which will be a wax's head, as you can see, and once again we're going to use this little pin right there in the pin hole of the wax's head. And as you can see now I have 2 points of connection, so an axle and a pin, and I'm going to link these 2 points of connection in these pin holes, like that. So my it's holding pretty well. Now I'm going to link the body, which is a Metron body armor, and as you can see, I've already put this blue part, so one side pin, the other side is an axle, on 4 pin holes. So I'm going to link this axle holes, this axles in the axle holes right there, like that. And now I'm going to link the rear legs, which are in fact the same as the front ones, as you can see, because it's a double connector, of course a little one, and 2 waxes legs. But that's not the end of the way, because now I'm going to link the tail, which is made with, well, it's quite simple in fact. I'm going to have this Mactoan, so of course from a 2001 Mactoan arm right there. Then I'm going to link this pin right here, going to link these 2 slicers feet, like that. And as you can see, thanks to the slicer feet, I have 2 axles, and well, I still have my 2 axle holes right there, and I'm going to link them together. If I manage to, of course, like that. And now the last part is this little disc, which will go right there. So of course I'm not sure this was the code used on the instructions, but well, I couldn't see it clearly, so I just used this one with this code, but at least it's a Pro Metro disc, I'm sure of that. And well, here we go, the first promotional model is finished. Well, the first in this review, of course, because I think that the Fiku set was the first real promotional set. So, as you can see in terms of articulation, well, you have 1 ball joint per limbs, and of course you can launch the disc like that. And well, it's looking pretty nice, and it really used some unique parts in there, so quite cool. So here's your little unreleased promotional set. And now let's move on to 2006. With first 2 promotional sets which were released in Donald Duck magazine in Scandinavia, it seems. So for example, it was not released in France, and I do not know for the States, but well, they were released in some Donald Duck magazine. And well, this guys, well, the first guy I'm going to review is called Good Guy. Yes, it's called Good Guy. In fact, most of the promotional sets are called either Good Guy or Bad Guy. So well, I guess it's just some code name. So first the legs of good guy. So we're going to use a double connector, this one, then some neutron arm legs, and then two Bowox feet. Excuse me. Notice the axles right there, because thanks to this axle, I'm going to link the upper part and the arms of the upper part of the body and the arms of this guy. So well, once again, some double connectors, then some Toa Oda's arms, which were used, of course, in some Vaki sets. And as you can see, two Wakshi's weapons, so the Water's one and the Fire's one. I'm going to link these parts like that. And finally, I just have to link the head, which is a Toamechu's head mounted on a connector, then mounted on this blue part. Notice the transneon green brain eyes part used right there. And well, I've got a pin right there, pin hole here, and here we go. The good guy from the Donald Duck magazine is finished. So in terms of articulations, we got two ball joints right there for the legs and one ball joint for the arms. And well, in terms of storyline, for those who want to know, I read some years ago that in fact these guys were used as figures by the Tuaga to represent, for example, some Toa or some bad guys, and of course to tell some. Excuse me for this glitch, and of course to tell some stories from the past. For example, these guys could have represented a Toa or a Matoan. And well, I'm not really sure that it is canon in the storyline, by the way. I don't really sure it's still in the storyline or not, but I read that sometimes ago. Well, but well, we are here to talk about the figures, so that was the good guy from the Duck magazine. Now let's move on to the bad guy from the same magazine. And well, first we're going to begin with this Vaki pelvis part right there. Then we're going for the legs to link this double connector in yellow, or well, kit orange, more like kit orange, and then some onuous claws. Notice that in there we're going to link a connector and then this blue part. The blue part will be useful to link the arms, which are made once again thanks to a double connector, then some Vaki arms, and then some Promotional claws in orange, and also in kit orange, excuse me. And of course, you have to know that most of these parts were released before in another set. There is no exclusive part in these sets, so you can really rebuild all of them without any problems if you have the parts. And well, now we just have one head missing, and because this is a bad guy, we're going to use the Puaka's head, as you can see, with some trans orange eyes and brain, of course. It's the same part. And here we go. So in terms of articulation, this time we just have one ball joint per legs, one per arms, and one for the head. And so here we go, we have our two guys from the Donald Duck magazine released in Scandinavia. So good guy, bad guy, and well, that's all for these two ones. So now let's move on to some other promotional sets still released in 2006. And now we're going to talk about promotional sets which were released in some Duracell batteries pack. So you bought some Duracell batteries, and with that we got a little box in which you got two promo models. So the first one was what is called Good Guy, but by the fans is called Chuaga Likan. And you will understand why quickly. So this time we're going to use this Toa Ardika's arms as a body frame, and well, it's kind of like Kazi, for those who knows this Matawan from 2006, it's kind of the same frame. This means we're going to use the ball joint to link this connector, which will be used as a head, and also we're going to link on the side thanks to some pinholes this part right there. So well, I'm first going to link the legs thanks to this axle hole, and well, the legs are made in a simple way because we're going to have a connector, Metron arm legs, and another connectors for the feet. Like that. Excuse me. And now I'm going to link the arms, and the arms once again are linked thanks to this connector. Then we're going to have some metro arms right there. Notice that there is no ends right there, and it's normal. It's how you build this model. So I do not. So maybe for the price, they have to cut off one of the arms, or the ends, excuse me. But on the other arm, you got the ends, and better than that, you got this part right here, which was just released in, I think, Toa Irini, and also in some special DVD pack with the first movie. And so I've got two axles and two axle holes, and I'm going to link them like that. So it's near finish. There is just the mask left, and well, we're going to use this mask, and of course it's the Lycan's mask, and so that's why we call him Tuaga's Lycan. But well, it may as well represent the Tuaga's Lycan in the Tuaga's storyline, I think. So it's quite nice, but of course the feet are quite disappointing, and so is the lack of hand right there. So I think it's a pretty cool model, but can be really improved with with just some parts. So you can really do a better Tuaga Lycan if you have this part and some more. So well, now let's move on to the second promotional set from the Duracell Batteries pack, and well, it's a character you already know because he's called Bad Guy, and that's the same bad guy as seen previously in as the Donald Duck magazine. So as you can see, it's the exact same body frame and all the things the same thing except for the color scheme, as you can see, because this time it's just dark gray and black, plus the fact that it just got a Galley's hook as a waypoint. But apart from that, it's the same thing as the first bad guy, which was released in the Donald Duck magazine. So of course it has the same articulations, and I didn't talk about the articulations in the Tuaga's Lycan. So we got two ball joints for the legs, two on this arm, one right there of course obviously, and one for the head. So once again, pretty well articulated. And now it's time to move on to the last promotional set from 2006 stills. So this time we're going to have 4 promo sets, and these 4 ones were released in Quick, and Quick is in fact a fast food restaurant for those who do not know, so kind of like McDonald's. And I don't think you got Quick's restaurant in the US, but well, we got them in France and also in some other part of Europe. So well, we got this set. And yes, for the Duracell's promotional pack, I also think you guys got them, because well, you got Duracell's in US also, and we also got them in France. So well, let's move on first with the good guy from the Quick promotional sets. And first the frame, which is quite different right there, because we're going to use a Technic beam. Then we're going to use this part with an axle hole, which will be quite useful to link the head later on. Notice there's 2 gray pins, which will be useful to link the arms and the legs. And also notice this vertical launcher right there. So first the legs, which once again are made thanks to this double connector part, then some Metron arm, well here used as legs of course, some connectors and some sliders feet. It will be linked right there. And of course, because it's a gray part, this means the gray pins do not have only a grip, in fact, in comparison to the black one. And because of that, this means that the body is going to move like that, and it will be really a big drawback for this little promotional set. But first, let's talk about the arms, which once again are quite like, in fact, a Tuaga's Lycan, because we're going to use this part and then also some Toa Metro's arm. But just notice that here we're going to first use this ripcord for the to launch the water cars. So it will be linked right there. Now I just have to link the mask, which is the Toa Metro's one. And so that's why we used in fact a long axle on this one, a long Technic beam, excuse me, because it's a big mask. Then I've got my water car, which is a silver one, and here we go. So, well, in terms of articulations, two versions here, one here, two for the per legs, and of course one rotation point for the head, which can just be turned on the side. And of course this time we got a play features because you can put off this part, then put this thing right there, and of course launch it like that. So of course you're really supposed to put more strength in it, and so the thing will fly all the way up. But I'm not going to do that for this review because of course I'm going maybe to lose a part, and it will be well, it will be not really interesting if I go to look for it in the middle of the review. And so well, that was the good guys from the quick fast food restaurant well, promotional set. And now let's move on to their bad guys, which are quite original in fact, because well, we are going once again to use a technique beam, but this time we're also going to use this Ordica foot, which is here in Keto Ranch, so it was also released in Kitongo for those who want to know. Notice this part, which is similar as the one used on the good guy, and also notice this part right there, which will be useful later on, and notice the light gray part, which will be useful to link the legs. The legs that I am going to link right now. So as you can see, it's the same as before, but this time we're going to use here some Ordica's neck, as you can see, some Ordica necks, excuse me, and then some slicer or robots feet. It will be linked like that. So once again, because it's a gray part, it will still keep moving on like that. So of course you can replace that pretty easily with just a black pin, in fact. Then I'm going to link this part, which is, as you can see, a technique beam plus the vertical launcher, and it will be linked right there on these pins. Now I have to link the head and the arms, and it will be quite easy in fact, because I'm going to take this part, so an axle of 4 plus this little part at the end. I'm going to take my arms, which are quite the same as the good guy, but this time with some Metron arm news right there. I'm going to let the axle slide through the pinhole, and as you can see I have still a bit of the axle right there. Well, I'm going to link this axle in the axle hole right here. And here we go. Now I just have to link the head, which is a Wax's head. So I've got a pinhole right there, I got a pin here, and well, here we go. Now the Rotuka disc, and I'm set and done. The bad guy is finished. So in terms of articulation, well, you got one ball joint per legs, 2 on this arm, 1 right there, and 2 points of rotation here, because of course you can turn this way, but you can also turn this way like that. And so that's quite all. So well, like I said, there is 4 promotional models, so this means I have 1 good guy and 1 bad guy, but I got 2 of them. In fact, yes. So like I said, we got 4 promotional sets in the quick for the quick promotional set. We got 2 good guys and 2 bad guys. So we got 1 of the good guys. I'm going to show you the second one, but first I have to take a connector from against the can. The second good guy, as you will see, is in fact the same as the first one. The only difference is that it used, as you can see, a smaller technique beam right there, because of course it used well, a smaller mask. Excuse me for that. Yeah, it's because it used a small mask in comparison to this one. But apart from that, and the color scheme, which of course is this time red, it's the same as the other one in terms of frame and construction, and of course also in terms of articulations. And because we got 2 good guys, we're going to have 2 bad guys also, and this time it's exactly the same except for the color scheme, because this time we do not have yellow, or well, kit orange, but we have some dark green and silver color used instead. But apart from that, it's once again the same as the first bad guys. And here you go, you got all the quick promotional sets, so 2 good guys right there and 2 bad guys. And well, that's all for this promotional set, at least from 2004 to 2006, guys. So I'm going to do a little sum up. So that was the quick promos set. Now we have the Duracell's promo set, so with the bad guy and the gold good guy, also called Turagas Likan by the fans, and you can easily understand why. So of course it's supposed to have one connector right there, but I have to use it for the arms on this character right there. Then we have also the set from the Donald Duck magazine, released it seems in Scandinavia. So bad guy, well, and good guy. And finally we have this promotional set, which it seems was not in fact released, so an unreleased promotional set from 2004. I'm going to put him like that. And so if you want a little sum up, so what's to like, not to like, well, you really got tons of different things, but I'm going to do that character by character. So first, the Creatus set, the little way which was released. I think it's quite cool because it used really some unique parts which are not really common, like for example this part, or even the slicer arms, which after 2001 were not really reused in Bionicle sets. Then, so it's pretty cool way, so see, not really, no big drawbacks on this one. Then you got this type of bad guys, which was released both on the Donald Duck magazine and also on the Duracell's battery pack. And what is true, bad guys are quite cool. I think they're pretty simple, but they work really nice. They are not that complex, but at least they got a nice design and they works pretty well. So quite cool. Then you got the good guy from the Donald Duck magazine. I think, well, seriously, it works. It got some nice articulations and all, kind of like in fact all the guys, because most of these promotional models are pretty well articulated in fact. So kind of like a little set. And well, but except for that, I think it's pretty dumb in terms of design. It's not really that interesting in terms of visual, in fact. So, well, it's okay, but not that great in my opinion, but you might like it, and at least it's also pretty simple to make. Then you got the gold good guy or Turagas Likan, which is really great except for the lack of connector right there, and also the lack of real fit here, because the connectors are a little weak for the articulations and the pose, and also in terms of designs. But except for that, a nice station of parts, because well, these two parts are quite rare, so if you happen to stumble on this promotional packs, well, I can recommend you to buy one of these. And then you got the quick promotional sets. So first, the good guys. Well, I found them really maybe the worst promo packs in promo sets in 2006, because the design itself could have been a little better, and the fact that they used some gray pins which really got no grips at all is really a little problems for me. Plus, of course, the fact that they do not have any hands or stuff like that. So really, they can be okay, but not that much. I don't really know, but they are not really that good. But on the other hand, the bad guys from Quick are pretty cool, in fact, because they really have some nice, interesting frame. They really have a nice interesting use of the pass, and they got really an interesting design. So overall, these guys are pretty great. You can, of course, once again criticize the gray pins used right there and the lack of end, but apart from that, is quite cool. So overall, all these promotional packs are interesting. Of course, some of them are quite not really interesting at all, or pretty badly designed, but most of them are still quite interesting, with an interesting use of the pass, and they are pretty cool with really a few parts. So yeah, I think that's all for this review, guys. If you have any comments or questions about all of these promotional sets, well, feel free to ask them. I will happily answer them. This will be also, during this week, guys, I'm going to review other promotional sets released in 2007 and in 2008. So, well, if you like them, check them out. And that will be also. Hope you enjoyed, and see you later for another video review. Bye bye.